Hello and welcome to today's lesson from the IELTS coach. Today's lesson will focus on motivation and goal setting, how to stay focused on your target IELTS score, how to stay motivated so that you continue to study until you get the score that you need. So here I have 5 tips to help you stay motivated. And the first piece of advice that I have for you is to remind yourself about how IELTS is going to change your life. Why are you doing IELTS? What will a good IELTS result get you later on down the road? So if you get the scores that you need, will that mean you can immigrate to Canada? Will that mean you can study the university course you want in Australia? Will that mean you have more opportunities? You have a chance to do other things and maybe to earn more money or to get the dream job that you're looking for. Remind yourself, oh, I have to do another test. But why are you doing it? So I can be better. So I can move to another country. So I can go here or be there with somebody else. Stay motivated about why you are doing it because that's the big goal. That makes it worth it. Getting a 7 in IELTS has no meaning. I don't care if I get a 7 or an 8. But being able to study in another country, being able to get a residence card in a country, that's a goal worth aiming for. So remind yourself about that goal. Next, you should not focus on how much you need to improve, but focus on how you have already improved. Look at where you were a year ago when you started IELTS and you knew nothing. You didn't know the structures. You couldn't get a 5 in the listening. You couldn't understand anything of the reading. Now, where are you today? You've improved in all those areas. Okay, you can speak in a conversation with a native speaker. You've gone from a 5 in your reading practice test to 6.5 or 7. That's a huge improvement in a year. Don't see, oh, I've got to change one more band score. I've got to do all of this. I have to try and do that. Don't focus on that. Focus on what you have done and you can continue to improve. To see, oh, I've done that already. The next step will be easy. I've already improved 2 band scores. I only need half a band score more. Makes it easier to stay motivated. Rather than seeing how far you have to go, think about how far you have already come. Next, set specific goals that you can measure. Something you can measure and act on every day. Quite often students ask me very non-measurable questions. How can I improve English? Well, what do you mean by improve? How can I go from a 6 to a 7? That's measurable. An everyday goal. How can I get 31 out of 40 in a practice listening test? Okay, I've done that consistently. Now I want to get 32. Then I can move on to 33. That is a number that you can set. Improve, get better, it's not really measurable. So you want something that you can measure and that is consistent. And how much time or how many questions you do. I want to study more. How much more? Say, I want to do 10 reading questions or 1 reading passage every day. Complete that and do that. I want to do a full speaking test 3 days a week. Numbers are measurable. More, less, improve, get better. That's not measurable. So have numbers that you can measure and numbers that will help you. Be careful with something like I want to study for 1 hour every day. Is that effective study or lazy studying? So have a measurable activity. I want to do a full reading passage with 13 questions every day. I want to do 1 listening section of 10 questions and practice that and improve that. Doing a full listening test may not be as effective as doing 1 section and really analyzing any mistakes that you make. So measurable goals, things that you can count. And yes, I did this number of things. Yes, I reached this number for the score. Next, measure your progress. So you've got those numbers. Measure your progress and track your scores so you can see that you are improving. A lot of students think, oh, my English is not getting better. Based on what? If you go back and look at your previous tests, you may see that it is getting better. And another thing I have there is reviewing old lessons, especially old video lessons. Something I encourage when I do lessons with students online, I record the lesson. So they have a video of themselves speaking and asking questions. And it's quite fun for the student to go back 6 months. Look at the lesson we did 6 months ago and notice how poorly or without confidence you were speaking. Then look at the lesson we did last week, completely different student. You can't measure your progress by just thinking about what you were like 6 months ago. Compare it. Oh, my listening test 6 months ago was 25 out of 40. Now I'm getting 32 or 33. That should keep you motivated. Oh, my speaking practice with Mr. Lee 3 months ago was very bad. I couldn't speak for 2 minutes. All my answers were too short. Now I'm speaking more confidently. Watch yourself, measure from 3 months or 6 months ago. Not just 1 week. You're not going to improve a lot in a week. There can be improvement. You will learn things, grammar and vocabulary, but you're not going to improve a band score consistently, perhaps in one test, but consistently in a week. Over 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, look at your progress and say, wow, I've improved a lot. I want to keep going. If you can see that improvement, that motivates you. That makes you want to keep going. And the last thing I want to say to give some motivation here is the only way to fail IELTS, there's no pass or fail. The only way you fail is if you give up. Most students just keep going and going, maybe 10 tests, and then they get the score they need. They didn't fail because they didn't give up. If they did 9 tests and they still didn't get that score, that would have been failure if they gave up. So keep going until you reach your goal. You've got a clear goal, 7 in all skills or an 8 in the listening. That's a clear goal. The only way you can fail is if you stop. That doesn't mean you always have to be taking lessons and paying teachers, and you can do it on your own. It may take a long time, but the only way to fail in IELTS is to stop and not do it anymore. Maybe you run out of time if you have a deadline, but keep going. Keep trying. As I said, sometimes students do have to take the test 10 or more times. You think, oh, that's crazy, but they didn't fail. They didn't give up. That student is now studying in Canada, or that student has now immigrated and got their residency card in Australia. But there are other students who don't do those things because they stop. They think, oh, I only need to do the test twice and then I'll be okay. When they don't get their result, they give up. It's not like that. You have to keep going. Imagine a baby gives up trying to walk off when they're 6 months old. It doesn't work like that. They keep trying, eventually they get it. So don't give up on your goal. Stay motivated. Check your results. Watch your previous lessons and look at previous tests to see how much you've improved. And this is a big part of my job, motivating students. Students sometimes come in and, oh, it's too hard, I can't get the score, I keep making mistakes. I need to motivate them. And these are some of the things that I say to do that. So please look at these 5 ideas to help you stay motivated. Keep trying for your exam. If you've got your test coming up soon, make sure you're in a positive mindset when you do the test. If you think you are going to fail, you are likely to fail. If you think you won't get the score, then you won't get the score. You've got to have that positive mindset. So good luck with your next IELTS test. I hope you can use these tips and techniques. Also watch some of my other preparation videos, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.